The hot sun was making everything very warm when the man was walking slowly down the street with his big bag of cat food. He always came to feed the hungry cats on the street every single day without fail. This had become his most important daily routine for many months now, and he never missed a day even when the weather was bad. Today felt like any other normal day until he saw something that made him stop walking and look more carefully at what was happening. Some very small kittens were lying under a piece of old, dirty cardboard that someone had thrown away on the ground. They looked very sick and weak and were barely moving at all even when he got closer to them. These little innocent babies were in very big trouble, and the man could see this problem right away just by looking at them. The terrible heat from the burning sun was far too much for their tiny, small bodies to handle safely. They had been lying there in exactly the same spot for what looked like a very long time during the hottest part of the day. Their small mouths were hanging open and they were trying very hard to breathe in the hot, thick air that was all around them. Their little fragile bodies felt much too hot when he reached down carefully and touched them very gently with his hands. The worried man knew he had to help them as fast as possible, because he understood very well that small, helpless kittens like this cannot live very long in such extremely dangerous hot weather without getting help from someone. He was starting to feel very sad and completely hopeless about the situation when someone who was walking by on the busy street stopped right next to him and pointed with their finger to another place nearby. This helpful person said there was definitely another cat lying down over there in a different spot that looked like she might be in trouble too. The man looked carefully in the exact direction where the person was pointing with their finger. He could clearly see another cat lying completely still on the hard ground under some old broken pieces of wood that had been left there for a long time. This second cat was also not moving very much at all, and looked like the terrible deadly heat was making her extremely sick and weak too. He walked over as quickly as he could to check on this second cat that was lying motionless on the ground. Right away, he could tell just by looking at her condition that this was most probably the real mother of the small helpless kittens he had found under the cardboard. She was breathing very hard and fast, like she was having trouble getting enough air, and looked extremely tired and completely exhausted from something. It seemed very clear that she had been walking around and searching desperately for something very important to her, for a very long time under the burning hot sun. Her dull, tired eyes looked completely exhausted, and she was far too weak to even lift her heavy head up properly from the ground. The man knew right away that she desperately needed fresh, clean water immediately, or she might not be able to survive much longer in this condition. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him to get some fresh, cool water from a small store that was located nearby, and brought it back as quickly as possible to the suffering mother cat. When he carefully put the water bowl down on the ground right next to her, she started drinking the water right away without any hesitation at all. She drank the cool, refreshing water like she had not had anything to drink for many long days and was extremely thirsty and dehydrated. She kept drinking and drinking continuously until almost all the water in the bowl was completely gone and there was barely any left. Then he opened his heavy bag and gave her some of the nutritious cat food he had been carrying around with him, and she ate absolutely everything very fast and hungrily like she was starving. It was very easy for anyone to see that she had been extremely hungry for a very long time and had not eaten properly in days. As she continued to eat more food and drink more fresh water, the relieved man could clearly see her getting some of her lost strength back little by little with each bite and sip. Now came the most important and crucial moment of the whole dramatic rescue situation. He very carefully brought the small, weak kittens close to this exhausted mother cat to see what would happen, and if she would recognize them as her own babies. What happened next was absolutely beautiful and very touching to watch for anyone who cares about animals. The mother cat immediately started smelling her precious babies all over very carefully with her sensitive nose and then began cleaning them gently and lovingly with her rough pink tongue. He carefully lifted and carried the box containing the cat family to his car and immediately turned on the air conditioning system to make cold, refreshing air that would help them feel much better after being in the terrible, deadly heat for such a long time. The mother cat looked much more calm and relaxed now that she was finally cool and comfortable and had her precious babies right there with her where she could see them and protect them from any danger. The tiny kittens were still very weak and tired from their terrible experience. All day long, the kind, caring man watched over the small cat family very carefully and attentively. The mother cat was being very protective and careful with her precious babies, which was a very good sign that she was feeling much better and stronger than before. The small kittens were starting to move around more than they had before and make small sounds and noises that showed they were getting better. By the time evening came and the hot sun was finally going down, they all looked so much better and healthier than they had looked in the morning when they were almost dying from the heat on the street. The thoughtful man made careful, detailed plans to take the whole cat family to see a special doctor for animals the very next day when the office would be open. He wanted to make absolutely sure that they were all completely healthy and did not have any serious bad problems or sickness from their terrible time in the dangerous heat on the street. But for right now, they were completely safe and cool and comfortable, and together as a loving family unit. The mother cat seemed to completely trust the good man who had saved her life and the lives of her precious babies. She was now letting him come close and look at them without being scared or trying to hide from him. When nighttime finally came, the caring man carefully set up everything that the cat family would need to be comfortable and safe during the long night ahead. He put fresh, clean water and more good, nutritious food close by, where the mother could easily reach it whenever she needed it during the night. He made sure the room temperature was exactly right, so it was not too hot and not too cold for the sensitive cats. The cats settled down together in their soft, warm blankets and were finally able to rest peacefully without having to worry about the burning sun or the dangerous heat or being separated from each other ever again. This amazing rescue story shows very clearly how important it is for all people to always watch carefully for animals who are in trouble and desperately need help from caring humans. If this good man had simply walked by without stopping to look more carefully, this small, loving family would definitely not have lived through this extremely hot and dangerous day. Sometimes helping animals who are in serious trouble means acting very fast when you see them suffering badly. This becomes very important when the weather is dangerous and could easily kill them. Street cats have many hard and difficult things to deal with every single day of their lives. Very hot weather like this can easily kill small helpless kittens who cannot find any shade or clean water by themselves.